We'll call to order and get a confirmation of appropriate meeting notice.
Yes, it was posted at Ace Hardware, Milton Piggly Wiggly, Milton City Hall, and Milton Township Hall.
Okay, thank you. I need approval of the agenda.
I'll move.
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed?
Aye.
Okay, motion approved. Public participation, either now or when, well, we only have one agenda item, so any public participation, anyone that wishes to speak? No? Okay. The one item that we have on the agenda is to discuss and have possible action regarding the ambulance purchase by the town board and city council. We have information attached to the agenda, and that was sent out with the agenda. This has been approved by each of the bodies, the town board and city council, to purchase an ambulance that originally had been discussed and approved by the fire commission in February 2020. And
Yes,
then,
Okay.
go ahead.
I believe the town's actions were consistent with the city's. From what I understand, the town authorized the purchase of an ambulance to move forward, authorizing the commission to direct the order, and that it be consistent with the Edgerton quote. While there may be some loose terms there, and that the town of Milton and the city of Milton would pay up to half of the total $3,000 maximum cost.
Okay. I do want to be careful because there seems to be some misunderstanding here. This is not a purchase to add to the Edgerton fleet. This is a purchase for the Milton Township and City of Milton fleet, and it will continue to be a part of that fleet. It is to replace the ambulance that we had talked about in 2020 that needed to continue to route through that replacement and keep those ambulances up to date. We are not just ordering this to add to anything. We have not even been approved in terms of our request to join anything. And even if we are approved, we are expected to maintain our own pieces of equipment, which is why I sent out not only that original replacement, then the list of, well, at that time, the fire department equipment, and I finally found the updated list. I should have gone ahead and sent that one out too, but by that time it was getting ready for the meeting. So if anyone has questions about those or the whole idea of this purchase, now would be the time to ask that. There seemed to be some misunderstanding about that. Linda?
I just wanted to say that I understand what this purchase is and what it's about, Madam Chair, and thank you for asking.
Okay. Any other questions? And that can be anyone. I'll go back to the public participation. Did anyone from the public have questions? It's not necessarily the appropriate time for that, but some people have been added on since then. So does anyone from the public have questions about that purchase?
I see there are staff also online.
Yes. And that's why I'm asking again.
What was the time frame again? Once this is ordered, it's like, are we like 18 months out for an ambulance?
Yes, it listed at the bottom of that order sheet. Estimated delivery was 320 to 340 days, depending on the chassis completion.
And that timeline is as of today. So when Edgerton got their quote and their timeline and the reference to up to 18 months, that was late last fall, early winter, when that was a projected manufacture date and delivery date. So the Edgerton understands from the manufacturer that could be completed and available to delivery maybe as soon as November, December, but likely a good 12 months from now, from today. Unknown, because we still don't know about supplies, like the supply chain everywhere. I don't know if that answers the question about what to expect for delivery availability.
Yeah, it does. Thank you.
So that by piggybacking onto the relationship that Edgerton has with an order in-house, so this would be our order, this would not be Edgerton's order. But the manufacturer has agreed to put it into the construction calendar schedule with the one that Edgerton has on order. So there is some advantage on the calendar.
And that was just 2 ambulances, correct? With
If
Edgerton? Edgerton's ordering 2, one for them, one for us.
Edgerton's ordering 1. We would be ordering 1 or 2, was the preliminary discussions. We're talking about 1 at this time. That's what was authorized recently by the council and the town board. So no, Edgerton is ordering 1. Edgerton that would not be ordering this one. This would be our order.
Yes, Linda?
I was just wondering, as I'm looking through these documents, the big question that I have, I believe that everyone on this commission understands what's going on here. But we've got some prices here that are listed with the townships. And I just would like to ensure that they are on board and have seen this.
So we have had discussions directly with their chairs. Teresa was in that discussion, Anissa was, Al was. They were very encouraged by moving forward with this, and in principle agreed that they believed that they needed to cost share. So that we need to figure that out. The issue today is, do we want to get in an order until we resolve the final numbers that everybody would cost share? But that would mean that we would buy it traditionally, meaning we paid 50-50 between the town of Milton and the city of Milton for now to get the order in. And that we can take advantage of the timeline for manufacturing and some discount. Rather than if we were to just cold call the manufacturer and order one today, we would be paying February 2022 price levels, which were different than when Edgerton placed their order as well. And we would be on a different calendar.
And I don't have the motion in front of me, but it's my understanding, Brian, that that was the way that our motion read, that we understand that at this point, the agreement is that it would be Milton and city. However, that the costs may change after we get final numbers in and have further discussions with the towns.
Yeah, we did talk briefly about that a couple minutes ago.
So the numbers that we have on this document have not gone through the township.
They have already, they're well aware of these costs because they were presented to them at a meeting prior to this meeting. And so they know exactly what they owe based on the equalized value within each of the townships and the city.
Thank you.
If that's what you're asking, Linda.
Yes,
Okay.
yes. I wanted that clarification. And I specifically want a lot of clarification because this is such an important issue. And anybody that would be looking back on this meeting, they need to understand all of these details as they're looking at the agendas that we have posted.
And
Thank you
it's,
for the clarification.
and it's specified in the intergovernmental agreement when that amount is due.
Mhm.
Okay.
Likewise,
right.
though, Linda, I think it's important to go to the motions that both municipalities had voted on. That's where the decision lies.
Mhm. Are you making that motion, Beth?
She thought about-
I want to make
she
I
thought
want to
about-
make sure
Previous
that
motions.
I want to make sure that there aren't any questions or any more questions. I would encourage, though, the people from the Milton, City of Milton, Township of Milton Fire Department and EMC or EMS to continue to, if you have questions regarding it, to kind of funnel those through Pete so that he can contact the either through Jason Russ or through the person making the order. If you have questions regarding the cost or what specifics were placed on the order, to make sure that those were put through and why they were put through, if you have a question about something, so that Pete can get those squared away.
And I would like to discuss briefly the Edgerton spec that they followed in the discussion about considering a similar order. There's clearly an intent and a will to join the Edgerton district. And if we were to do that, the model includes an assumption that we will bring one new ambulance of our fleet of a total of 2. There were some preliminary discussions that would be a total fleet of 3. But Edgerton no longer believes that that's necessary because they have a reserve ambulance. We don't feel that it's necessary to have 2 reserves. But there was some discussion on the specifications of the type of ambulance that was ordered by Edgerton. A couple of issues came up on concerns of the cabinet design layout and the location of the side door. Not that it would service substantially different in any way whatsoever, but that the location of those cabinets and side door make it challenging to have 2 cots in an ambulance at the same time. So that's where that conversation, my understanding is, revolved around. After discussing it quite a bit, my understanding, and I'm not a firefighter, I don't build ambulances, I don't use ambulances, but that we have this cot that has a mechanical lift system to it, and part of the system is bolted to the floor of the ambulance inside, and the other cot latches to it when it's put inside of it. It's my understanding that 2 of those systems wouldn't fit side by side. So my assumption, and it is an assumption, is that if there were 2 side by sides, there would be 2 cots that wouldn't be anchored. And that doesn't seem realistic, or in today's world, what the fire staff has asked for in the past with these lift cots that are anchored. And that we would want to service 2 cots at the same time as in transport. So there was a concern raised about the inability to have 2 cots at the same time. And there was some concern raised on some exterior rear lighting systems, which I don't consider a make or break on it at all. And I talked to Pete. He said that wasn't a breaking point either. There's a slight difference in color scheme on the paint job. And what really we haven't talked about yet, traditionally when we order any vehicle, there's a follow-up on the lettering design. And I would assume that a motion here would include that we would follow up late at a later date with an authorized letter scheme that may say Milton on it. It may say something else on it.
Oh, yeah, that better be in the motion because that will bring up concerns.
And that's typically not defined at the time of the order, the lettering scheme.
Mhm.
So, but I wanted to bring that up because that's something that should be a discussion with the fire commission to move forward on a lettering scheme at a later date.
I have something to add.
Yes,
In reference to what you were talking,
You need
But-
to say who you are.
Brandon
and-
Fry with the Milton Fire Department.
Okay.
Talked to Chief Maury this morning, and the concern was not to have 2 cots in the back of the ambulance. The concern was that there's not enough space to carry multiple patients on backboards in bench
Right.
seat situations and stuff like that. Mass casualties when we're short ambulances and we have nobody to transport. With our current ambulance setup, we're able to place more than 1 backboard and transport more than 1 patient. He's not wanting to put 2 cots in the back of an ambulance.
Right, and we already discussed that. We met with Jeremy and with Anissa, and so that information had been passed on by Chief
I misspoke.
Parker.
when you said 2 cots. I misspoke.
So thank you though, Brandon. We appreciate that.
Yes.
He also wanted to let me tell you that he had contacted Foster Coach for an updated quote with a couple of items and has not received any word back yet.
Okay. So
Teresa, sorry to interrupt, but Brenda, can you clarify what those couple of items might be for the updated quote?
The email that we received from Jenny Lucas with the Edgerton Spec ambulance, the cot was not added into that, so it would be additional cost there because the cot that we currently have in our backup ambulance is not compatible with the power load system. So an entirely new cot would have to be purchased, and don't quote me on the exact price, but I want to say it's somewhere around $20,000 to $25,000 additional.
and that's correct. We do have the final quote for that. And the final quote is $297,806. And that includes your cot and the lift system.
Mhm.
Yeah, so we do understand that if our backup system is not compatible and that we'd have to purchase that part of the system, which pushes it closer to a $300,000 ambulance. So we do understand that.
Mhm. Was,
And I remembered that as well. I was just clarifying that there weren't other additions that I wasn't aware of.
All right, so at this point, I believe that all questions are answered. And unless anyone else has anything to ask. Okay, I'm not seeing anything. So we will go ahead and make a motion.
I'll offer the motion.
All right,
Move to authorize the purchase of 1 ambulance for total cost of up to $300,000. And the city of Milton and the town of Milton each would, their individual costs would not exceed $150,000 each. Not to exceed. And authorize the, let's see, we have already authorized the commission.
Is that a second motion?
No, and within this motion, this shall not be, we shall not exercise a prepay option. It'll be a COD. And that the exterior lettering will be determined and authorized at a later date by the commission.
I would
Second,
second.
you take it, Bill.
Second.
Okay,
Did I miss
All in-
anything in the motion?
I think you got it fine, Brian.
okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed?
Aye.
Who said aye? Opposed?
Jim said aye.
Jim? Opposed?
Okay.
Okay,
Oh, I said aye.
Oh, you,
Jim was just a late eye.
oh, a late aye.
affirmative?
Is it- Okay, all in favor then? Thank you.
Aye.
Yeah, okay, no opposed. All right, thank you. It's passed. General items. Anything? Yes, Linda?
I was just thinking that I would like to see a little more information out, maybe through the department into the school districts, more about space heaters and things at home. I know that we have our month in October that everybody goes to the schools and everything, but you know, if we could maybe just put something on the website or just make up a video and just share it with the school district. And I just feel like it's a step to keep awful things from happening.
I have a couple of small things, really about what we just acted on. So it's my understanding, the way the commission currently operates, the chair is authorized to sign the final order to initiate that. That's consistent with what we acted on. And that each municipality here, the manufacturer, I believe, is asking for a resolution showing that the municipal bodies have authorized this kind of a purchase. So the town will follow up with a resolution. It kind of just clones up what we acted on as a municipality earlier, a few days ago. So that resolution we'll be able to show that to the manufacturer and say, yeah, we did as a body authorize spending money. We see banks ask for these resolutions oftentimes. I don't recall, we've used Foster before, I believe, and other manufacturers for other vehicles. I don't recall them asking for a resolution, but it is common for a bank to ask for a resolution.
Okay, we had noted on the quote in the request for the order for Edgerton that it had been put through by their assistant chief. And so we were thinking that perhaps Jeremy should make the order. So I'm not sure that the chair should make the order.
Well, I was thinking of signature for a contract to manufacture. If there was a request for a signature.
Okay, all right, I'll check on it. Then get your resolution into me as soon as possible.
I assume the city will be following up with the resolution as well.
Al's on here, he can do it.
What we talked about at the council meeting with Attorney Schrader is that we certainly can pass a resolution if it's required by the vendor, but so if that's something is necessary, we can do so.
Right.
That's how we interpreted it as well. If it really truly was necessary, we just follow up with that as a formality.
So do you want me to contact Foster?
Yeah,
Maybe Jenny could.
Huh?
Maybe Jenny could contact them.
Edgerton did that. They said that they were asked by the manufacturer to provide a resolution, but they actually did act on a resolution. I think it's here nor there. We would follow up if necessary. Just wanted to bring it up.
I can call, or Pete will, to make sure it's a requirement, or if it's just a suggested
Yeah.
item,
Right.
but I'll see if it's required.
Thank you.
Okay, let me know. Thank you. Okay, anything else under general items?
I just wanted at the end of, I think at the end of all of our meetings, I just want to take the time to thank all of our firefighters and EMS for what they're doing for us. And more so, well, how they're working with us, but more so what they're doing for each of the communities that we represent. You're all great.
Yes, especially under frustrating circumstances. So,
Mhm.
thank you. Okay, at this time then,
I plan to be absent from the February 16th scheduled meeting. I'll be
okay,
out of town, just an FYI.
okay, so Mr. Hanlon, you'll be here?
I believe so, yes.
Whether you knew it or not, you'll be here.
Well, but Brian, if you're going to a warmer place, you could take us all with you.
I hope it's warmer, but it's freezing at night there now.
Yeah, it is cold there.
Visiting family, so.
And not that
Okay.
it matters, but as just a point of order, our other commission member, John, has not been able to be present. So we may not have a quorum for the town, Brian. So just pointing that out.
But there could be a quorum for the commission.
Right,
Correct.
right. Okay, as noted, the next meeting is February 16th. It will continue to be Zoom at this time. I need a motion for adjournment.
Move to adjourn.
Second,
Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
aye.
I
Opposed? Okay, motion adjourned.
Thank you.
Or
Tuesday.
meeting adjourned.
Thank you.
Yep,
Bye, everybody.
bye,
Bye-bye.
bye.